All right, I got some questions. I was just outside. It's 9:15, 9:19 now, here in South Georgia. I just seen some, what I thought was a helicopter. Turned out, looked like it was 2-3 helicopters. So I just whipped out my phone. I got a brand new Samsung S25 Ultra. Don't know what the videos are supposed to show, but somebody tell me what the heck is this in the video. So is that how helicopters are supposed to look, or?
All right, Brent Cousins here, joining you from the Hollywood Hills. How's everybody doing tonight? We got a big show. We got a ton of UFOs. We got an adventure in Göbeklitepe with Blake and Apollo. What hidden mysteries are there? Well, we're gonna find out. There's something going on. That's the truth. Well, right now we're looking at something maybe incredible, maybe mundane, but we're looking at 3 glowing objects moving from left to right. He says he pulled out his brand new Samsung, I'm not sure the model, but he says it's a new one. I'm not sure if Samsung has some issues with their lenses, but we're looking at something that's kind of strange. We're gonna add and adjust some brightness, contrast to this, and we're gonna see what he's talking about. He says, do helicopters look like this? And here we go. Look at the warped trail that's being left behind on these objects. This is incredible footage. I'm not sure, maybe UFOs or some sort of advanced technology is kind of cloaking themselves using, the sound of a helicopter, but it might not be the case. We're looking at something kind of weird. 1, 2, 3, and then we're seeing that top one. It does have that kind of red light, the FAA light. So maybe it's a little mix of both. I'm not sure, but what's your opinion, guys? What's with the static energy that's just, kind of coming out from the backside and doesn't really seem to have the straight motion. It almost seems to be, wobbling to an effect. Well, this guy, he said he pulled out his new Samsung. I'm not sure, maybe the sensors and the camera are picking up the light a little bit differently with the new technology, and it's not capturing reality. I'm not sure. I might send this to Samsung just to see what effect are we looking at here, or is this a true thing? Because he saw this in the sky, and if you're seeing that with your naked eye, you're gonna say, what in the world's happening? And this may indeed be something special. All right, we're gonna play it one more time. And again, we got a ton of UFO videos and an adventure coming up in just a bit, but that's a really good shot of what are we looking at? Propulsion behind these 3 craft? Is that it? Wow, incredible stuff right here at Third Phase. All right, I got the next video in queue. Let's roll it. All right, this video is coming in from Saudi Arabia. Let's take a look at this. It looks like a rocket, but we did a little investigation. This is basically unlikely a SpaceX rocket that would have been captured from America and seen in Saudi Arabia. So maybe they're doing some sort of other test, but Al Fayez sent us this video from Saudi Arabia, and he's asking Thirdphaseofmoon, what do you think? Well, Al Fayez, we're taking a look and we're seeing some incredible, it's an incredible display. Absolutely. You just see it kind of, it has all this thrust, and then it vanishes almost completely. And then it leaves just this kind of a, trail, but then there it goes. It seems to ignite. We've seen rockets, and definitely I'm very familiar with SpaceX launches. I've seen them personally. It's a very exciting thing to see. But right now, it has this display, but we're pretty much ruling out SpaceX. I'm wondering if Saudi Arabia is doing their own test, or it's coming in from another part of that area. Who knows? But if I saw this, definitely I would film it. Well, Fayaz, I appreciate you sharing this all the way from Saudi Arabia. Our reach is pretty much worldwide, and it's pretty impressive that we receive videos from every part of this planet. It's amazing. All right, we got something special coming up. We have Blake and Paula. They make an appearance. Pretty much the way I'd never seen Göbeklitepe before. They go into detail, and this is quite the adventure. So I'm going to just roll this out and catch you midway before they go to the second tepe, and I'll give you a little heads up on that.
Sky's the limit. Join us on this special episode. All right, we just arrived at the parking lot, and now we're on a shuttle bus. I guess they don't want any people parking and driving up, so we're on our way up to Göbeklitepe. The bus is kind of full. We're in the back seat, but let me tell you, we're quite excited to share with you this astonishing sight. Only one place like it in the world, and we're about to do it. So give us a big thumbs up. Göbeklitepe. Let's do this. All right, we're at the precipice. Göbeklitepe, just there to the right. Again, quite amazing. Just less than a decade ago, a farmer was out here, saw something peculiar. They unearthed it and found something that's still unexplained today. And we're here. Let's take a look. All right, we just went through security once again. They put us on a second shuttle. I can see Göbeklitepe off in the distance over here. Again, security's pretty tight, but a lot of tourists want to see this destination, and it's just interesting kind of the protocol you got to go through to get up here, but we're almost there. All right, the significance of this spot. What was the purpose of their building this structure in this area? I guess Sandlerfas to the right of me, down below. I guess this is pretty much the highest point in this region, but look at this vastness. Basically in the middle of nowhere. Why? What was the purpose? Again, this location is approximately 12,000 years old. 8,000 years older than the pyramid, about 6,000 years older than Stonehenge. Look at these colossal figures. You can make out a pigeon sitting on top of one of the stone tablets, writings. What was the purpose of this place? Very expansive, unusual. Some people claim that this was some kind of possible data center. Right, when you look behind me, we have these colossal rocks here, formed with craftsmanship that it's hard to imagine, 12,000 years old. And what was the purpose? Some of this area is still yet to be unearthed. Apparently they've stopped the excavation, but right now, what lies behind me is quite incredible. These things weigh up to 40 tons, and what we're looking at here is still a mystery to this day.
So here we are at Göbeklitepe, and what's really interesting about this site is that the time that it was built, around 11,600 years ago, actually coincides with about the ending of the supposed worldwide flood or worldwide cataclysm, that there's been evidence of it happening all over the earth around that time period. So a lot of people have investigated this and wondered, because these areas down here were filled up, basically at one point they were buried, like purposely, they were filled in with stone and buried. So a lot of people wonder if maybe this is a time capsule to the future of humanity, for the future people. Maybe apparently there's some inscriptions on some of these stones that actually coincide with some astrological alignments that happened when a certain comet came around every 5,600 years or so. So a lot of people think that maybe this is a time capsule that was kind of put here so that the future of humanity will understand when this time could happen again, where possibly another cataclysm could happen in our future. But this is a theory, of course.
Yeah, that's right, Apollo. There's still no answers to exactly what the meaning of the construction is, but as you look at it, there's pigeons around. You can kind of get a size comparison of how large these objects are. Absolutely incredible craftsmanship once again, but some people actually say that this is some kind of possible, like, opening of a portal or a computer system. I'm not sure about that, but again, the answers still remain.
All right, so some ancient astronaut theorists have suggested that, the Sumerian tablets has a story to play in this with the Anunnaki. They say that this site is basically what has been said to be the Garden of Eden, or the place of the first man, because, it's been said that the Garden of Eden is in between the Tigris and the Euphrates, which is where this site is. And they say that the Anunnaki possibly genetically engineered humans right here at this site.
As we're kind of looking around, I notice a little plateau kind of stands out. In my opinion, Göbeklitepe is the tip of the iceberg here. This place has yet to be, fully explored. Apparently the government's kind of shut down excavation, but as we're looking at this plateau here, this is an indicator that there might be another Göbeklitepe Part 2 right in this area. If you notice this little plateau here, we're going to keep discovering this area. All right, so what's behind me over here looks to be the second excavation site, and apparently they've ceased any kind of more exploration of the area. I'm not exactly sure why. Some people say that this is a part that they kind of don't want you to film, but we decided, I don't know, it looks like a kind of a flying disc over here, but I wonder what's laid beneath the surface right behind me. So the people of Turkey obviously built something that's quite incredible. A lot of people come to this location to try and find awareness, try and find answers to what's going on our planet right now.
Now, Blake and Apollo are heading to Karahan Tepe, the second stop on their journey.
Discovered in 1997, recently excavated in 2019. We're about to head up to the mountain. Again, this place has been dated even older than Göbeklitepe. So again, the reason behind some of these megalithic structures still remain a mystery, and we're gonna go find out what it's all about. So we're basically in the middle of the desert. No sign of life, actually. Rugged terrain is about as bad as it gets. Syria, we're off the border, very close to Syria. And again, what's happening up here? Some people say that this is a place of worship, maybe a sacrificial area. Again, some of the megalithic structures that we've seen at Göbeklitepe, we've asked the locals and they say they don't understand how they could build that. How could they build these megalithic structures with the tools from over 12,000 years ago? Still remains a mystery. And this is a like kind to Göbeklitepe. Karahan Tepe, another mystery right here in Turkey.
So we're over here at Karahan Tepe, just made it to the top of the mountain here. And you know, it's pretty amazing because this site has obviously not been fully excavated yet. Behind me you see a statue which looks to be like a symbolic symbolism. Apparently the site has a lot of that they've been finding. They think it was like a, you know, kind of like a religious, maybe even sacrificial site. You know, like I said about Göbeklitepe, it's kind of the same thing that happened here where it was purposely buried and filled in. So all these sites were filled in with stone, covered up and buried. Almost like it seems like a time capsule for maybe future people to see. So, you know, are these sites a warning to the future of humanity? Do they have some sort of symbolism that they wanted us to see now? Very interesting.
Brought it out in the middle of nowhere, this desert, vast, hundreds of miles, nowhere, no civilization anywhere around, but just up on this hilltop, they've decided to start building megalithic structures that seemingly defy common construction of this time. It's amazing stuff.
So it's kind of hard to believe that out here, when this site was built, that it was actually the end of the last ice age when it was originally built, kind of around the time that the Great Flood or a cataclysm supposedly hit the planet. You know, it's kind of hard to believe now because obviously we're out here in the middle of the desert. And as you can see behind me right here, we have what they call the pit room, which is probably one of the most important sites that have been excavated here. Some people believe that maybe it was used for sacrificial purposes, but also, you know, there's a lot of kind of symbolism of fertility at this site, so maybe this was like a fertility kind of worship site.
Karahan Tepe, again, a massive situation going on over here. Unexplained, still to this day, people speculate the reasoning behind the incredible structures behind me. You can see that some of it's still partially not exposed yet. The government's taking their time unearthing these incredible sites. In the future, we're probably going to get more answers to what really is the purpose to this location. Again, a lot of history right here. I want to thank everybody from around the world who joined us in the special episode. Give us a big thumbs up on the way out. And everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins. We'll see you next time.